All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to some exciting racing action here at TCR Trinity Competitive Racing. We are back for another race with the Golden Class here tonight, and at no better place than Monaco itself. What a brilliant, historic track this is. Super technical, super tricky. They say in the F1 world that there's only two types of drivers in F1, those who have crashed in Monaco and those who will crash at Monaco, and that is exactly right. So welcome to TCR Season 11, Round 3, the Golden Class here at Monaco. With you guys in the booth is myself, Blue Machine, and with me is Seafreeze, a man who's raced around Monaco many times in TCR on many different F1 games. Welcome, and tell us a little bit more about this one.
Welcome everyone to the Golden Class. Yes, it's one of my favorite tracks actually. Not so much to watch, unfortunately, but as a driver, it is definitely the probably one of the most more difficult tracks on the calendar, and I think that's why it kind of appeals to me, because everything has to go right, especially in qualifying, which everyone knows could be where the race could be won. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on the qualifying a little bit more closely, so as that can really determine the race outcome. But I don't know. It's I'm going to expect the same people from the last few races to be up towards the top. It's just really who's going to pull out that final lap to get on pole, and if they can keep their wing clean and off the walls around this tight street circuit. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I think that's pretty much the crucial thing around here, is figure out a good strategy when you're going to pit. Don't get yourself into a bunch of traffic, and definitely keep yourself out of the walls. So if you guys are just sort of joining the season or just joining TCR and you want to know what happened so far, we've had a couple of drivers that are brand new to the league that have been really putting on a great show so far in this season 11 of Golden Class. Both of them are actually at the top of the standings at the moment. Barry the Dog and QVR Packer, with 40 and 38 points each, are really putting on some pressure on the rest of the Golden Class here today. Seafreeze, it's something that I want to ask you about, both as a previous driver of TCR, but also, as we all know, you have a major role in this league as being one of the main founders of it. You've seen a lot of people that were new to the league that came and possibly shook things up. Do you see possibly the same thing happening in Season 11, and how do you like it so far?
It's been very interesting to see all these new guys in here, especially, well, at least one as well is Snipper Pig, his first time, I think, in TCR. He's been kind of around, but he's reserving tonight in the Renault, looking for a full-time seat, and he's already P3 for the reserve, so I mean, he's looking for a strong performance. We've seen strong performances out of the Mercedes of Bats Plus. Our Silent has also been pretty good, and then also down in the pack, I believe he won the first race, was Packer, which is also, he's been really nice. And there's been, new drivers in all the classes, and they've all pretty much held their own for the most part, and I'm interested to see their longer term progression. How can they go from silver to wherever they are at the moment, and how can they step up even more? So that's kind of my interest. But yeah, a lot of new drivers and a lot of returning drivers, but I think the new guys are kind of, especially Packard, look at that, pole of a 108.6 at the moment, so there's definitely no shrugging these guys off.
Absolutely, and I think we're going to see if any of them come into play here today, they might really, show that they've got what it takes to be in TCR and Golden Class, especially. Maybe even if they've got what it takes to be in Platinum Class, we don't really know. I know a couple of guys have been jumping and reserving between a couple of classes and putting on some really good performances, so it could really lead to anything here. Standing in third in the standings, sorry, I lost my words there, is Chargers He's just about to go on an out lap, or on a hot lap, sorry, and that gives us a good chance to go on board with turn 1, Saint Devote, going up the hill now on Beau Rivage is turn 2. It's not really a big turn here, but going into 3 now, Massenet, and into turn 4, Casino. Those are very, very tricky. I actually crashed in qualifying there last night. Mirabeau is the first part of this very, very tricky hairpin corner, as we're coming into the hairpin now and into the second part of Mirabeau on the exit, which then leads us into the famous Portier with the port and the water on your left-hand side, going into the tunnel and through the tunnel, and then coming out on the other side. Beautiful Nouvelle Chicane, turns 10 and 11. Very easy to cut those corners and get an invalidated lap through there. Now coming in through to back, one of the hardest corners on the calendar in F1, and now into the swimming pool there, and now only a couple of corners to go. Brascas, and the last corner, Anthony Nogue, and getting a very good run out of all of those corners is Charges, running himself down to the line now. That's going to be good enough for second place, 109.0, but QVR Packer currently on provisional pole with a 108.6.
Yeah, it looked like Chargers had the quickest first and second sector from riding on board with him, but it looks like the third sector, I think Packer might have been quicker there in probably about 4/10. So it did seem like Chargers had lost the back a little coming around the penultimate corner, but yeah, pretty good lap there to get him into P2.
And Seafers, what would you say for yourself would be the hardest part of this track, or like the trickiest corner on this track?
Ooh, well, tricky corner, I don't know. Actually, for some reason, I hate the corner before entering the tunnel. I really don't like it. It's awkward. You could really clip the barrier. It's probably not hard for anyone else, but it's hard for me for that corner for some reason, because you do kind of need all the momentum onto that shorter straightaway. But for me, I don't like that one. Every other one I could manage, but that's pretty much that corner for me. Or even the last corner is also very weird, because you got the wall, it just sticks out, and it's very easy to hit your side pod. It's got to be one of the two for me. But pretty much qualifying. I mean, if I'm practicing for my league race for Monaco, I would definitely put all my emphasis on qualifying. And I don't know how much these guys have done, but I probably would have done nothing in the race, maybe just to get used to the fuel loads. But I know if I could put it on pole, I can manage the race from there. But you need practice around these very, very close corners. You can't go in there with no practice, because you need to be so precise in qualifying, and that's where the practice comes in. So that's what I would do if I was driving.
Alright, I was watching there as Perry the dog was just parking to let a car through, but I think he was on a quick lap, so definitely had to abandon that one. He's currently sitting in 4th place with a 109.5. QVR Packer, 108. Sorry, go ahead.
Silence coming on a lap now. He's finishing it. He had a purple, I think, second sector come to the line. Ooh, P4, so a little bit off, but he does move up as the Alpha.
Alright, one driver I wanted to ask you about is TCR Jones. He is definitely one of the drivers that's been in the league for a very long time, and he's had very good performances before as well. Kind of surprising to see the little bit of not such a great pace or not such a great luck that he's had in the last couple of seasons, but he's a Season 7 Golden Class champion. He was pretty good in Season 9 as well. He had a pretty good performance there, but Season 10 and the starting of Season 11 just haven't gone his way. Is there anything that you can offer in sort of advice? Obviously, you've been in this for 11 seasons now.
It's been a long time, isn't it? Actually, funny enough you say that. Me and Jones were actually talking the other day, and I was trying to help him out the other day. I mean, Jones is my guy. He's the veteran. He's obviously an official, but he's also a proven golden guy, a golden winner and a champion, and proven in many different races. He has been struggling as of late. The main thing we talked about was settings for the on game and in your wheel. And I gave him some of my settings. He was playing around with it, so hopefully, I have no idea if he's using them tonight, but hopefully that helps him get a little bit better feel for his wheel. I mean, last year he switched to a Fanatec, which, by the way, we have an affiliation link for TCR. It is down in the description. You'll probably hear us say it a lot. But Jones has switched to a new wheel last year to the Fanatec and was trying to get those settings right. So that could be all it is. I mean, he's sitting P6 right now. He's probably going to go out again. So I don't know. Maybe that'll help him. Maybe it's more setup related. But yeah, no doubt he'll get back on track.
I really hope so. Yeah, I really want to see him battling him.
But he's good at Monaco. I think last year he had a pretty good run at it.
Yeah, he's got some fans in the chat as well. Deathwish Tricky, he's a previous TCR driver as well. He's saying Jones thumbs up, absolutely. You know, everybody's cheering for him. We all want to see him back up there. Right now, he's actually sitting in a good place. He's in 6th in qualifying with a 109.6, really holding on to those front guys by just a couple of tenths there. So he's got a good chance to go out there again and possibly set a good time. Other than Fanatec as well, another new company that is helping us out is also Sticky Fingers Canada, doing some stickers for us that are available on the website. There's a link for our TCR shop in the description of the video as well. They're only a few bucks, but they definitely help us do this league every single week and possibly grow it to bigger and newer things later on. Obviously, right now we're doing something a little bit new. We're streaming on the PS5 in full 1080p quality, and hopefully you guys are getting 60 frames per second as well. So yeah, that would be really exciting if more and more drivers switch over to the PS5, but at this moment right now, it's looking like most of us are going to be continuing on with the PS4 for a while.
Yeah, it's the price, Blake. It's the price.
I think it's more the availability.
The availability, yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you probably have to, wait for months to get one. I mean, these things are, they're not as easy to get as they were back in the day. I mean, yeah. Actually, as well, I just wanted to mention that, TCR does use a combination of regular and strict corner cutting for tonight. We are on the strict limits for Monaco. There's really not much places you can cut, but in those corners that you do, we thought might as well keep it on strict to keep the advantage pretty much equal to all. So that could play a factor. I think it played a factor last night in Silver's race. A few guys getting some penalties. Only a few corners you might get a penalty, you might get hit with, but it's like, would you rather cut the corner or hit the wall? I'd rather cut the corner. If you don't get to the corner properly, I'd rather cut the corner than hit the wall. But
all right, well, let's go on board here with Jones. He's going out there for another hot lap. He's going into Saint Devote into turn 1. Oh, and he's invalidated that lap right on turn 1. He's still got enough time. He's got enough time to go again. He's definitely going to do it. Just got to board this particular lap, save up the ERS again. And he's going to have another chance. He's also going to be one of the last people to cross the line. So it might work out for him still, but definitely very unfortunate. Let's go on board here with RR Silent. New driver came in and definitely showed some good performances already in the first couple of races. He's currently in P4 with a 109.3. He goes into turn 1, cutting that inside corner a little bit, but not as much as Jones did, and therefore he is not invalidated. So he is going up into Massenet, into Casino, doing a pretty good job through there, really close to the walls. Now coming into the first part of Mirabeau, he is purple. He is up by 1.3 tenths on his time, so he's doing very well right now. Going around the hairpin and coming into Seafreeze's most hated corner, Portier, before the tunnel there. Going through the tunnel now, the sound through the tunnel is absolutely incredible on these cars and on this game as he's coming into the chicane right now of turns 10 and 11. Very cleanly for there, a really good exit as well, through to back, almost kissing the wall on the outside there, but keeping it nice and clean. swimming pool, and only a couple more corners to go. Let's see if our Silent can keep this pace going through the last corner of Anthony Nogi comes now, opens up the DRS on the exit, running down to the line. Let's see what sort of time this is going to be. It's good enough for P3 at the moment, 1:09.0. Got enough time to go again, possibly. Jones.
Had a good final sector, but lost a little bit in the middle sector. But yep, Jones invalidated again, so that should be it for his qualifying, down to P6. Let's see if anyone can overtake him or if he can maintain on that. Bats Plus gets across the line, so he'll be able to start another lap. And now we're coming to the end of the qualifying here. Let's see who else is on a lap.
So Snipper Pig is going around the hairpin right now, and I think this is his first race, correct me if I'm wrong?
Yeah, I think so. It is his first one reserving.
Absolutely. So let's see what sort of time he's going to be able to do here. But right now, as a reserve, not so bad with a 1:09.0. Only a few thousandths of a second away from RR Silent, and he is currently faster than his best time. He's about to finish Sector 2 here, and he is purple in Sector 2, and he's 3/10 faster than his previous time. So he's doing a really good job now. Coming into Raskas and Anthony Nogue there on the exit. Opens up the DRS a little bit late, but he's going to come down to the line. It is pole position, 1:08.605, but only by a few thousandths of a second quicker than Packer, and Packer is on a quick lap himself right now, coming into...
he's backed off, though. Yeah, he's definitely backed off that one. Yep.
Yeah, and he's pulling into the pits.
We got Perry. Perry's on... No, he's 20 seconds down. That won't do it. I think that might be it. So for pole position, it's going to be the new guy. We were talking about the new guys earlier in the stream, and looks like another one just snipped pole, and to be honest, he's in prime position for the win today. Nice debut. I mean, probably one of the best ways you could do it. Even better is you go out and win it. But so far, it looks pretty good.
And like you said, qualifying is everything in Monaco, and he just did everything he needed to in qualifying to put himself in the best place for possibly the race win here tonight. So it's going to be Snipper Pig 007 in his very first race in TCR Golden Class as a reserve here tonight, able to qualify unlike the last season, and he snatched pole away from everybody else. QVR Packer is going to be on the front row in second place, Chargers in third, RR Silent in fourth, Barry in fifth. We're going to have Jones in sixth. Pretty good performance there. Could have done a little bit better, but still much better than before. Bats Plus in seventh, F1 Racer in 8th, Gold Raider in 9th, and Ryan is going to be in 10th place. We'll run through the rest of the 10 later on, but Ryan actually has a 5-position grid bounty, so Eggs Breezy is going to move into that position.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that. It's actually kind of crucial for Snipper Pig to get pole position, and even though he's a reserve, he still has the opportunity to go out and win if a full-time seat opens up and he snags it. He only missed the first 2 races. I mean, if he keeps up his performance, I don't know, we'll see how he is in the race and through other tracks as well, but if you could do it at Monaco, you could probably do it at any of the tracks. So he could be a late entry title contender. I mean, when we come down towards the line, we've got the 12 races in the season. This is round number 3. Getting ready for the formation lap, and this is my favorite time to look at some predictions. So we need the top 3 for your podium. Mention them down in the comments, and you got to do them now before we start the race, otherwise they don't count. Any predictions for yourself, Blinn?
Ooh, this is going to be a hard one, especially, Monaco and these new drivers that are just showing us that we can't write anybody off right now. So honestly, I'm just going to go for, I think who's going to be up there, definitely QVR Packer and Perry will be in the top 3, but I can't tell you who's going to be 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? I think it's too early for that.
So your bets won't count? Well, if you can't tell me, I'll tell you. How about that?
Let's hear it.
Yeah. Just reversed it on you. I'm actually going to go. Pole position's very valuable. We don't really know much about Snipper Pig, but I'm impressed, so I'm going to put him number 1. How about that? Number 2, we're going to put, oh man, see now it gets tough. We got 1 guy, now we need 2. I'm going to put, let's put Chargers P2, and then we'll put Perry P3. For some reason, that just sticks out to me. We'll do every other. The odd numbers will get on the podium.
All right.
So those are my predictions.
I like that. I definitely like that. And just a quick note there about the tire choices for the start of the race. So Breezy, because he was technically qualified in 11th, he was allowed to start on the medium tire in the top 10. That's going to put him in a really great position. And then we've got Dre, Sam TJ, and Johnny Breezy in 11th, 12th, and 12th, 13th, and 14th, also starting on the medium. So is McLaren and Prudent at the back of the grid, but other than that, everybody's going on that soft tire. And a little bit about Monaco as well. The length of a single lap here is 3.3 kilometers, or just over 2 miles. We've got 19 turns, very tricky corners all around, and strict rules for tonight's race as well. The race lap record here is set by Max Verstappen and his Red Bull in 2018 with a 114.2, but the TCR lap record is set by no other than himself, Mr. Seafreeze, in Season 9 and Round 6 with a 108.841. And a 50% race distance around here is what we're going to be doing, which is 39 laps. In terms of tires, I got to say, compared to other tracks on the Formula 1 grid, the tires around here last a couple more laps than they should. So that might be something that will come into effect. Definitely when you stop, how you stop, and getting out of the walls is going to be the key for the win here today. If you guys are just joining us, leave us a like, leave us a comment about your predictions for the top 3. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Get ready for round 3 of Season 11 in the Golden class here at Monaco. And the lights are going on. 3, 4, 5 lights. And we go racing in Monaco in the Golden class. QVR Packer is ghosted off the line, but he gets a pretty good start there. Oh, it looks like there's a bit of contact already between Chargers and RR Silent going through Saint Devant through the first corner there. And now Chargers is going to be under attack from Bats Plus and Jones coming up the hill as well. Perry there losing the car slightly on Casino, trying to get it back together there. It's definitely a dangerous point in this race and in this track to lose the car. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1 and 2. Did you see what happened there, Seafreeze?
No, but it looks like just a bottle. Everyone's kind of stacking up here as we get to the hairpin. Maybe just some wing damage. Yes,
and we have VSC. VSC is out.
Oh yeah, here we go. A lot of wing damage. A lot of wing damage.
Let's see if we can spot any damage here. Nothing on F1 Racer. TCR Jones is lucky not to have anything either. Looks like Perry is okay, but definitely some other people might have some damage. We just don't know exactly who it is just yet. At the front, it didn't look like any positions were changed, except for RR Silent. RR Silent did gain a position on Chargers, so Chargers losing out a little bit there on the first lap, but we've got a virtual safety car. No surprise around Monaco, is it?
Definitely not. Here's everyone who got the wing damage. Golderator, Ryan, Saint TJ, Prudent. So about those 4 guys, McLaren as well. Nope, McLaren's good. He does have a penalty for something, maybe cutting a corner earlier on. And Drismic is already out of the race. I think he crashed under VSC in Tabac. But we're now racing green now. Snipper Pig is your leader. Packer behind, followed by Silent. And it's going to be a long train because these guys are all on pace with each other.
Yeah, so we're only on lap 2. We already had a short VSC moment there for, it looked like Drismic possibly getting out of the race there. He's our first DNF, but we are starting with 17 people. We still got 16 drivers here tonight, and I'm sure this is only going to get hotter and hotter. This action in Monaco, it never disappoints. TCR Jones, they're going a little bit wide through the Neville chicane. He might get a warning for that and keeping it out of the wall through to back, but he's putting on the pressure on Bats Plus. Bats Plus so far has done a really good job in Golden class. He's in P5 after 2 rounds. He's got 11 points to his name. So he's going to try his best to fight off TCR Jones here and, again, try to prove that new guy point that they're trying to do here in Golden Class, I feel like, in Season 11.
Yeah, Bats Plus also done a very good job. He's been reserving in a few Platinum races. He's held on pretty well. He's got some points finishes ahead of some of the regulars. So Bat Plus doing a pretty good job. I don't know if he'll reserve tomorrow, given the track. I don't know if he's a fan or not, but yeah, he's been doing a good job. Mercedes 5 and 6 at the moment.
And back to the front, Snipper Pig is in first place, still leading this Grand Prix with QVR Packer only 3.5 tenths behind him. R Silent in third place is keeping within a second of the both of them as well. So that means he'll be able to use some DRS, although around this track, you only have the one DRS zone and it doesn't really do much.
Yeah, I wish they actually added it into the tunnel, but for other reasons, I'm sure they can't do that for safety reasons. But yeah, it is tough to overtake around around this track. You need a significant advantage, even in the game. I mean, it's hard on real life, but it's even harder. Oh, and Snipper almost loses it in turn 1. He gets a terrible run, and here we go, Packer down the inside, looking very, very close there to the wall, but it's Snipper Pig still hangs on. And man, it could have been wing damage for Packer there. I don't know if you were on board with him, but he almost clipped the wall trying to go for the move. But it looks like Snipper Pig, I don't know if he's having some setup problems, or maybe he's just nervous. He's in a position he's really never been in before in TCR. Maybe other leagues, maybe other races, but I mean, it's pretty nerve-wracking when you're the leader.
And RR Silent gets an instant 3-second penalty for cutting the hairpin. And I know it's an instant penalty because I got the exact same one on the very first lap here last night. I went a little bit too deep on the inside of the hairpin, cut too much of it, instant 3-second penalty. And Golden Raiders now got himself one as well. So those penalties are really starting to rack up. We've already got 3 drivers with 3-second penalties to their names. But most crucially, RR Silent running in third place with that penalty to his name now. That's pretty much his podium run possibly over here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, especially, we've seen how we can have a long train of cars, and if you're anywhere where that train is, the 3 seconds pretty much puts you way behind. So if we get a late safety car and you have penalties on your name, it doesn't really matter what position you are currently, it's just going to put you back. So if you could just keep it clean, get a rhythm going, especially for these top 2 guys. I know Packer would probably want to get past the Renault at this time, but I mean, we have a lot of laps left. Maybe just sit behind him, maybe push him into a mistake, and kind of feel the field out a little bit. Maybe you never know. Maybe a few guys will retire. Ooh, and as I'm talking about him, Packer picks up a 3-second, which doesn't do so well for his case. But I don't know. Maybe it looks like Snipper just cut that corner there in the chicane. So I don't know. We'll see how they go with the penalties, but definitely don't want any.
Yes, absolutely. And I see what you're saying now about Snipper Pig struggling with that car, especially on the exits of corners. He gets that back end really struggling, really coming out on him. It looks like Johnny Breezy has just had a moment coming through the chicane there, but he seems to be back on it now. QVR Packer, though, he's waiting for his moment. Snipper Pig just had another snap as they were coming into Casino there. Wow, those are very, very dangerous moments to have the car snap on you like that. And if this is what's happening on lap 6, we were saying the tires around here usually last for an extra couple of laps. So I'd expect the softs to be going until about lap 8 or 9. Whereas right now, after just 5 laps, it looks like they're struggling, or at least Snipper Pig is really struggling on them. Yeah,
I mean, it really does matter where you pit, or when you pit, rather. I mean, you could stretch over. You got a yellow. Oh, look, man, a bunch of stuff in the hairpin. Anybody? I think the Williams that Pruden went for a spin. I don't know if he probably clipped the inside barrier coming in. Looks like no damage though, but the Williams is P16. I think he was up a few positions, but it seemed like he lost a few there. But Yeah, it really doesn't matter where you pit, because you don't want to get behind anyone else when you pit. You want to have a clean track ahead of you, so...
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but Chargers just had a massive moment coming through turn 1, and Perry was trying to make a move on there, but he thought about it and backed out of it. But that was super, super close. Sorry to interrupt again.
Yeah, no problem. It could also be, if multiple drivers are losing the back end, it could be because they're using their time trial, more qualifying-based setup to try to go for pole, and their race, maybe they didn't do much race practice, or maybe their setup's not, as fine-tuned as they would want it to be, because they're really focused on the qualifying. It could be that. It could be the tires. I don't know. As we get a full safety car, is anyone out?
A safety car? I didn't even see what happened there, but yeah, we've got a full course, yellow full course safety car. Let's see what the leaders are going to do here. Snipper Pig, from what I've seen, he's really been struggling, so I'm sort of expecting him to come into the pits, and what a great view we get there from the run of turn 16. You can see that the pits are elevated right on top of that corner. It is a beautiful, beautiful view there, as Snipper Pig does jump into the pit, and so do all of the top 5. Snipper is going on to hard tires. Let's take a look here. It looks like QPR Packer is going for the 2-stop.
Yeah, and Snipper gets crucially ahead. That's a little scary moment. That could win you the race, and you're putting all the faith into the hands of the game and giving you a good pit stop. But it looks Snipper Pig went on the hard tire, everyone else the mediums, and that means Snipper Pig could go to the end. Now, the mediums are probably the better tire. I don't know if they'll last. They might have to do a little bit of management. You could probably still get to the end on the medium, but we'll see if that's enough for the guys behind to get past a hard tire runner. So very, very crucial. I don't know. It kind of takes a lot of the strategy out as well, because everyone just pitted at the same time. So you didn't have to time the pits correctly, hoping you'd get out in front of some other cars later in the field. It kind of took all the strategy out. So for Snipper Pig, that actually might be really good. You didn't really have to think much. You just pit.
Absolutely. I think this really came out at a perfect time, especially for Snipper Pig. But everybody in the top 5 and in the top 10 right now, as it looks like, they're all going to benefit from this. But I want to come back to this tire compound difference here. The difference in the pace is not going to really matter here, because we're in Monaco. So as long as you don't make a massive mistake and you don't put it in the wall, the guy behind is pretty much 95% of the time not going to be able to overtake you. Where it is going to matter is the tire durability here. And at this moment, we're talking about doing 30 laps on a medium tire. It is Monaco, and it is Golden Class, and it is TCR, and these guys are absolutely brilliant, but that is still a lot to ask from Codemasters especially. But, in general, from a car on F1 2020, it's definitely a big ask. From a hard tire, it's okay. I mean, you can make a hard tire last that long as you don't push it too much. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think we might see some puncture territory, or do you think these guys are building on another safety car later on?
I think definitely the hard tire could definitely last to the end. The medium is right thereabouts. I think you could make it if this stays green all the way down the line. If a safety car does come out, you might want to pit. But I like where Snipper Pig is at the moment, because although he's probably going to be under pressure at the moment, if he can hang on for the next 5 laps, the first 5 laps of this restart, if we do get a safety car down the line, I think, let's say other people put on soft tires behind him, those mediums are going to be dead at the end of the race. So the only guy who will have tires left would probably be the hard runners, because they can last that long. So I don't know, I kind of like the hard tire, just go to the end. He's got track position. I think they could get to the end though in the medium, even if we do get another safety car. But it is coming in this lap. It was kind of a quick one. I think only like 2 laps.
Let's get back to the front here, and we're going to keep a close eye on the top 3 that were absolutely locked into a battle before this safety car came out. It's Snipper Pig in front, Packer in second place, RR Silent in third, and we're watching a board from Silent's car, and we're going to see when Snipper Pig is going to put the hammer down and when he's going to go for it. I think he's probably going to do it right out of the last corner, and he does. And QVR Packer and Snipper Pig get a really good exit, but the guys behind them don't really. There's a huge difference between all of the people behind them. QVR Packer is right on the back wing of Snipper Pig. I think he might be thinking about going in for a move on Massenet. He's going to try and go down the inside. He's going down the inside, and before they get into Casino, and there's contact on Snipper Pig's car. I think he might have a little bit of damage there. It's a yellow flag, but no, it looks like he's got all of his end plates on his front wing, but he's going to drop down to 5th place. Perry and Chargers and Silent are all going to go in front.
Man, he is extremely lucky still to be in this race. It looks like Packer had the move done. I think it was really just Snipper Pig kind of misjudged, getting kind of pushed out wide, not really yielding the position. But Packer, he had that game plan. He had all his battery. He used it down the front stretch and all the way up the hill to Casino. He made the move. He knew if he was going to make the move, it would have been then. And he probably is the quickest car at the moment. A lot of confidence through the corners. Purple sector 2. We'll just see if he can stick, you know, maybe, let's see, Silent can stick with him, rather. If not, this could be Packer for the win. That could have been a race-winning move.
Oh, we've got another safety car. It was McLaren P1 who lost it there. We just saw it on screen, actually, as we were watching along with F1 Racer, but behind him, McLaren P1 absolutely lost the car on the exit. I think he tapped the back end on the exit of Louis Chiron of turn 14, and then the car spun out on him into the pool corner there, and he went into the wall. So he is the second DNF out of this race, and because of that we have a second safety car. Gold Raider, he had a little bit of damage, and he is jumping into the pits. He's going to put on a hard tire, he's going to put on a brand new wing, and he is now also on a one-stop strategy, matching up some of the other guys here, so he might have a second chance at this race. But speaking of second things here, it's the second safety car in just 11 laps.
Yeah, I mean, this second safety car really doesn't do much for strategy. The only thing it could help at this point in time would be the guys in the bottom of the field. If you just put on medium hard tires thinking you're going to the end, you're probably not going to go much. You know, you're probably going to stay where you are because it's very hard to overtake. I don't know, maybe if I am Gold Raider, I'm not probably going for distance. Maybe put some softs on. See if you can maybe make an overtake here or there. I mean, we already had two safety cars. One might come out in 10 laps and then you could pit then, or you know, play something a little differently than just going to the end. But you know, we'll see how this manages.
I think he's listening to you, because that's exactly what Snipper Pig is doing. He's jumping into the pits right now. He's changing his front wing, it looks like, as well. It didn't look like he had much damage on it, maybe just like a light green. Both end plates were still on the car, so I'm surprised by that, because that is going to lose him quite a bit of time. He also just got held back there by a tiny second by Same TJ coming into his grid spot. So wow, this race has just turned on us a couple of times very, very quickly. Snipper Pig, of course, being pole position sitter and then being in the lead of the race for most of it. But then having that moment with QVR Packer doing a very clean overtake, what must be said, through Massenet and Cancino. He made sure that he left some space on the inside, but it looks like Snipper Pig just didn't yield enough in there and got spun out, got a tiny bit of damage, changed his front wing, changed his tires, and he's going to be in 12th place right now. But at the front, we've got QVR Packer leading this Grand Prix with RR Silent in second, Chargers in third, Perry the Dog in fourth. TCR Jones has recovered up to fifth, but he's got 8 seconds of penalties to his name. Bats Plus in sixth place, F1 Racer in seventh, Dre in eighth, and we have X Freezy in ninth, and Ryan holding on to the last point finishing position here tonight at this point in time. But we're only on lap 12. We've got 27 more laps to go.
Yeah. Actually, I was looking at the biggest movers and losers, and I think we know who the biggest loser is. That'd be Snipper Pig, unfortunately. He's down to P12, losing 11. But biggest mover is Dre Diggy. Actually, no. Actually, it was. I think now it's X Ryan moved up 5 spots from 15th. And Dre Diggy moving up 4, so they're making some inroads. I think they are also clean on penalties, so that'll put them in a good position. But the Ferraris are looking good, 5 and 8 for them. Mercedes 4 and 6. And then Chargers is also in a pretty good spot, right behind the two guys with penalties. So if he could stay clean, and maybe we get a late safety car again later in the race, he looks like he can challenge for it.
Absolutely, and a good moment to run through our Constructors Championship at the moment. Haas is leading with Gold Raider and QVR Packer sitting at a total of 68 points. We've got the Mercedes of Bats Plus and Perry the Dog in second with 51 points. And then we've got the Red Bulls of Chargers and Zegrease with 41 points. I don't see Zegrease on the track here today, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's going to hurt Red Bull a little bit in that fight. But looking at how things are looking right now, Mercedes might be the biggest winners if things stay as they are, because Golden Raider is out of the points. Safety car is coming in this lap.
Oh man, here comes the action. We'll have to see. Hopefully it's a cleaner one. Let's see if Silent can maybe do the same thing Packer did to get this lead.
Silent is really sizing him up right now. He's sticking very, very close to him on the exit of turn 19 right now. Is QVR Packer going to book it? No, he's not. He's got the right to take it all the way down to the finish line. And look at that. Severe collisions. Penalties are coming in left, right, and center for everybody making contact, because everybody expected him to just go for it, but he goes for it now. Right as he crosses the line into turn 1. He's all clear of our Silent and Chargers behind him. But the guys behind are going to be fuming about that. They were not expecting him to slow down, but he's got full right to do so, and I think it's going to possibly hurt some of the guys, possibly maybe getting some penalties or maybe some damage.
Yeah, I mean, those guys might contest some of the penalties. They're small little taps that give you 5 seconds, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting that at all, but it makes sense. I mean, you cut the Monaco straight, which is already kind of short in half, and it really puts your odds up of not getting overtaken. So very well not done, but if we get another safety car, I don't know, maybe he'll replicate it. At least everyone now knows what's coming if there is another safety car. But well done. Very nice race.
And look at that. Snipper Pig is making up some positions, but he makes a little bit of contact there with Same TJ trying to overtake the AlphaTauri through the Neville chicane, and didn't quite work out for him. Luckily, no damage on the car, but he's going to have to try this one again, and still in 11th place, still out of the points in tonight's Grand Prix after being the leader for most of the race. So we'll have to wait and see if he's able to recover to some higher positions. But this is a really close battle here. Same TJ trying to defend the inside into turn 1. Nothing Snipper Pig can do. No DRS is enabled just yet because we just had a safety car. But now up the hill. Oh no, there's going to be massive damage there. There's going to be massive contact. It looked like Same TJ did not sort of leave the space, but also Snipper Pig was trying to pick out a place that is very, very tight to try and overtake, and that is massive damage on his front wing right now. He is struggling to make it around the corners. He's not going to be happy with that one after the qualifying and the opening stint that he's had here tonight. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, that's tough. And I'm looking back at the front of the field. Silent has 8 seconds of penalties, I think 5 of which came from the contact. Chargers picked up another 5 seconds. That could also be from the safety car. And Packers got the 3, so we'll see if any steward inquiries happen from post-race. But at the moment, Perry is clean, and Jones, what'd you do? 18 seconds of penalties. He probably had a few 5 seconds in there. So I don't know how he got 18, but that is quite a lot from Jones. He's sitting really well, P5. Maybe he challenges a few of those penalties. I don't know where he got them from, but we got another retiree, Prudent. Well, he's in the pit, so he called it quits. We're down to 14, and someone hit the wall, I think. Was that Snipper Pig? No?
I'm not really sure, but Snipper Pig did pick up another 3-second penalty for himself as well. He's really struggling with that front wing at the moment. He's not pitting just yet, but he might at the end of this lap if I'm really if I was him. Bats Plus is closing up on Jones though, so he might really come back at him, and with those penalties for Jones, it's definitely going to hurt his finishing position, unfortunately. but he'll still be able to finish with some points to his name, so that is going to be a good thing here. Same TJ and Golderator just picked up 3-second penalties themselves. Oh, and Jones
got
there.
damage. Jones got damage. He's got something wrong.
And he just went really wide there through the swimming pool chicane, and he's going into the pits, and Bats Plus is going to gain that position on track. He's got a really big train behind him of F1 Racer, Dre Diggy, X Breezy, Snipper Pig, and same TJ.
Looks like he maybe just turned in too earlier. If it was his right side wing, maybe he just clipped the barrier in the swimming pool section. Very unfortunate. Jones had a really nice race going for himself, and unfortunately it seems he's back in the back, unfortunately. And it's also a returning driver of X Breezy in the Racing Point. He did race, I believe, in silver last year or the year prior, and he's returning to Golden as a full-time driver. So I think he's in the Racing Point. He's teaming up with Drismic, and he's clean on penalties. He's at P9 at the moment, so pretty nice race from him at the moment.
Snipper Pig is still able to make up positions here, even with the damage that he's got on the front wing. He's closing up on Dre Diggy and putting on some pressure. He's in 8th place right now. He doesn't need to stop again unless maybe a safety car comes out and he decides to change that front wing. But yeah, he's definitely showing that he's got pace, he's got talent, he knows how to drive a car in F1 2020. He definitely has possibly has a place in Golden Class with the sort of performance he's putting on. It's just Monaco can be so brutal sometimes, and he seems to have got a lot of misfortune here tonight.
Yeah, it happens from time to time. It definitely happens. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Perry within the second of Chargers. Maybe hoping to get past them. But I just want to remind everyone, tomorrow is the Platinum Class Monaco Grand Prix. Tomorrow, Thursday, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. So check into that. We do run for Platinum Division. We use full qualifying. As Snipper Pig got past Dre Diggy entering the hairpin, or in the chicane rather. So he's up to P7. Good move for him. But yeah, we do run the full qualifying for Platinum because qualifying is so crucial, and it'll be the 50% race. So be sure to tune in tomorrow night for that. I also wanted to kind of shout out last year's Golden Class champion, Flying Jibbo. I was looking through the stats before this race. He did win the last 2 Golden Class Monaco Grand Prix. So he's going to be making his, I guess, first Monaco race in Platinum Class. So we'll see if he can make it 3 in a row and doing one better in Platinum. So I'm kind of interested to see that tomorrow night.
Yeah, the king of Monaco in TCR. We'll see what sort of performance he can put on in Platinum Class. So far, he's been pretty impressive over there. So definitely good luck to him tomorrow here in Monte Carlo, the Principality of Monaco. Pretty much a city and a country in itself. Very, very nice. Very, very nice views in that place. Look at that marina and all of those viewers. I can't wait until we have fans at races once again. And it sounds like this year we should be back racing at Monaco, but of course we missed out on it in real life in the F1 2020 season. But hopefully we'll be back racing on those historic streets once again, and those walls will show us who's boss.
That is very true. Boulder picks another penalty, and he's going to retire in the pits, which you hate to see it because you never know what's going to happen in Monaco, but unfortunately he doesn't think his chances are high, or with all the penalties. I'm not too sure. So that promotes Johnny Breezy and Jones to 12th and 13th. And we're really just waiting to see how this plays out. I mean, I'm actually interested to see if these tires will last, but we won't really know until later in the race because they should be fine at the moment. It'd be interesting to see if anyone pits for a second pit stop. Some of these guys might be able to pull a gap, like the front runners might be able to pull a gap on that second group. so they can get out in clean air and maybe use the fresher tires to their advantage. But obviously, track position is everything at Monaco, so you don't have to pit, don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or whatever the saying is. I think I messed that up.
No, I think that's exactly correct.
Is that right? I always mess the sayings up, so I usually don't pull them out because I mess it up all the time. But yeah, it looks like TJ disconnected from the race here. Maybe I'll send him an invite. Hopefully he can get back in.
Alright, and we're watching the closest battle on track right now, which is F1 Racer trying to close up on Bats Plus. And just from going on board with these guys, you can really see how tough it is to run around these streets in Monaco. It is, you know, you gotta be at 100% concentration for 39 laps. That is not a small ask of anyone to do. In real life, these guys do, over 70 laps, so it's an incredible achievement, and it's a hugely difficult track to go around, so I don't blame anyone for crashing or for having a hard time here today. Thank you guys, everybody who's watching the stream so far. We've got quite a big turnout here today. Of course, it is Monaco and it's the Golden Class, so I know it's a super exciting race, but to all of you watching, leave a like, leave some more comments. I see some new names in the comments in the chat here. Lior Mizrahi is saying, what is everyone doing? Are they just racing to crash? Well, it's not that easy, Lior, and also that name, Lior Mizrahi, sounds very much like an Israeli name. I myself lived in Israel, so if you are Israeli, or, you know, if your parents are, Shalom, Erev Tov, Ma Nishma, and welcome to TCR.
I second that. I second that. I don't know what.
Alright. So we're already on lap 22 now, out of 39. We've got 17 more laps to go. We've got still this battle going on between F1 Racer and Bats Plus for P5 in the race. That's quite a bit of points. That's going to be 10 points to their name, whoever ends up taking that position. But other than that, looking back to the front, QVR Packer is leading this Grand Prix in his Haas. He is 4.8 seconds clear of RR Silent in the Alfa Romeo, and yeah, so far he's just pulling out more and more of a gap. They're on the same sort of strategy. They're both running on the medium tires, pretty close on tire wear as well. So either they'll be going for a two-stop, or they might be trying to pull off these mediums until the end. And behind RR Silent, 1.6 seconds behind, is Chargers in third place, holding on to a good podium position right now, with Ferry the dog chasing him down with about the same gap, 1.6 seconds as well. Now in fifth place is now the Mercedes of Bats Plus. So Mercedes now fourth and fifth in this Monaco Grand Prix, but there is quite a bit of a gap, almost 14.5 seconds there between the two teammates in the Mercedes of Ferry Dog and Bats Plus. F1 Racer very close behind Bats Plus as well in sixth.
Yeah, I like the top four. They obviously are in the top group. Any one of them could probably pull out a win here. You know, anything could happen. One small little turn. I keep sending, it's funny, I keep sending TJ invites. He keeps leaving, I keep sending them. So hopefully if I keep doing that the whole race, he'll be able to get some, snag a point here. But yeah, the top four. I mean, Monaco, you know, we're kind of in that dull period as we see Johnny Breezy coming to the pits. Hopefully might be getting some new tires. But it is one of those, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, it's one that you want to win, one you want a good performance at, especially in TCR. You know, we hold all the records and stats in the stat book, and one you want checked off is Monaco, and really any of the classes, even silver, gold, or platinum, you want a Monaco win. Just like the real F1 drivers, they want to win at Monaco, just because of the history, and very hard to manage this place. But this is kind of what Monaco has turned out to be, unfortunately. But with the lack of overtaking, but it's really shows who's got it and who don't got it. But these top four guys are pretty much on par with each other. Seems Packers definitely moved out from the lead. What is the lead? I have glitch on my screen. What's the lead from first to second? A few seconds?
The last time I checked, I think it was around 5 seconds, but right now, yeah, it's not showing it to me either. 6.8, there we go. It's coming back now. F1 Racer, though, is really starting to close up on Bats now, but he's got Snipper Pig behind him now in 7th place. That's also putting on pressure on him, so a lot is happening here, but you were talking about how much it means to F1 racers to win at Monaco. I mean, you have to look no further than Fernando Alonso, who's trying to achieve what's called the Triple Crown, right? Which is winning in Monaco, winning the Indy 500, and then also winning Le Mans. He's got 2 of those completed. He's got Monaco, he's got Le Mans multiple times. He just cannot get that elusive Indy 500, but he's back in Formula 1 this season, which is a little bit counterintuitive to what he's trying to achieve, but he says he might be trying to do the Indy once again later on. He was so close in his very first try.
The first one, he was very close, and that engine gave out on him down the straight, and poof, there it was, and unfortunately I think Indy is probably, in my opinion, probably one of the hardest ones to win, because I mean, maybe not so, because I mean, in F1 you really do need to get in the. It's very hard, firstly, to get to F1 because of the limited amount of seats, the money, financials to get you there, the support, the backing. Then you have to get to F1, and there's only a handful of cars that can win that Monaco Grand Prix because of the car's performance. You have to get into F1, into a good car, and then also you have to perform. So there's a lot of expectation in Monaco. It could probably be the hardest one of the 3 to win. Le Mans is also very tough, a long 24 hours. Anything can happen in a full day. And then Indy as well, a very tight grid, and it's also configured. Each one has its difficulties, and I think it's kind of shows whoever can do the Triple Crown is very, very talented and is able to do it. And I think Alonso, if he keeps trying, he might get lucky, or maybe he might have the car that day and he might get it eventually. But I don't think he was running it this year. I think he said he's focusing on F1, and then we'll see, maybe next year he'll have a go at it. Last year he didn't even make it in. So
yeah, that was very unfortunate for him as well, and he was very, very close to making it in, but there were some cars that were just much better set up, I feel like, for that race. Of course, they had some technical issues. I'm pretty sure the tub of the car broke a couple of days before qualifying, and they had to get a brand new tub from another team, and they had to fit it in with the package that they had, which was absolutely not what you want to do within a couple of days of a major event like that. So very unfortunate for him, but I am hugely happy to see him back in Formula 1, and especially with a team like Alpine, rebranded from Renault, of course. It's going to be an exciting time. He's back with a team where he won a couple of championships, so he's going to be pushing again. I know what he can do, and in the winter testing so far, he showed some very consistent times, very consistent performance. There was a really funny meme about him testing with the little kids during young driver tests, but it definitely seemed to have worked out. It gave him a little bit of a warm-up.
For sure, I think he's very focused. We're heading into a very exciting F1 season. A lot of change of drivers, liveries, kind of a new team here and there, rebranding. Get a full season, a few new tracks as well, which we had plenty last year. I think we have, we're going to finally race on Zandvoort. I think they also have a Saudi Arabia track lined up, and then some returning tracks that we weren't able to go to last year. Hopefully we can attend this year as well. So it's going to be a long, very nice season, and it starts very soon. I'm so excited. This week, obviously, Netflix, their Drive to Survive comes up. We're in the prime position for racing, as it just around the corner. F1 will be starting. We already got TCR kicked off in season 11. I mean, it's been pretty nice.
Yeah, I think this year especially, I'm really looking forward to the first race of the season. I feel like F1 and Liberty Media have given me a really nice little gift to my birthday, because it will be March 28th will be my 30th birthday. and the first race of a new season F1. That's a nice little gift. Thank you, F1. I will take that. Alright guys, we're on lap 29 of 39, so only 10 more to go here in Monaco. It's been quite a crazy little race so far. We are down to 13 runners out of the 17 that we started with. We had 2 safety cars and a VSC so far. A couple of incidents, couple of moments of contact, especially for Snipper Pig. While we were talking there, by the way, C3, Snipper Pig has gone into the pits once again, and he's put on a medium tire. That's definitely going to last him until the end of the race, but he's only down in 9th place now. He is catching up on Same TJ. Even looks like he might be forming up a move on him here on the start-finish straight with the DRS enabled. We're going to jump on board with him, definitely closing up on the rear wing, but he's definitely not in the position where he wants to be because he qualified on pole, and he was leading the race for the first stint until almost until that second safety car came out.
Yeah, it was a very nice first race in that, but you know, you mentioned before, a lot has to go right, and he's trying, I think, he's trying to get past TJ again. I think he tried that earlier in the race, and that's when he had an incident with him. Is that right? Is that? It's been so long, I can't remember.
No, he had the incident with QVR
yeah.
Packer for this first one.
Oh, yeah.
When QVR Packer overtook him after the restart. But the second incident he had, I think it might have been actually with Team TJ. I think oh, and there's another one. There's more contact between the two of them. Snipper got pushed into the inside wall there on the entry into the corner and cannot overtake Same TJ once again. But I gotta feel like that's going to be something that will be reviewed by the stewards after, because it looks like Same TJ might have been able to leave him more space there on the inside. There was no need to push him in. But Snipper is still right on the back wing. He's going to have DRS here once again. He can still go for another possible overtake here. Down into St. Devot they come. Nope, he's going to think about it, going around the outside, but then he's going to back out of it. And now up the hill they come. And this is where, look at this. Snipper Pig is actually backing out of it because he's afraid now that St. TJ is not going to leave him the space.
I mean, I would be too. I mean, that looks dangerous. I go for it right now. Just go for it. You know, you got to pick your battle, and you see the opening, you got to go for it.
This reminds me of
he's definitely driving cautiously.
Yeah, it reminds me of Michael Schumacher when whenever drivers used to come alongside him, he used to do a little flinch of his wheel to sort of be like, do you want some? Do you want a piece of this? And then people would not go side by side with him, and I feel like that's what.
Here we go. He's
there we go.
Inside now.
He's gonna go down the inside into the Nouvelle chicane, but still side by side there with Same TJ. They're still gonna make a little bit of contact, but Snipper Pig possibly gonna get away there. They're gonna go into Tabac side by side now. Oh my goodness, that was close. Snipper Pig is gonna get away.
And hopefully he doesn't see that AlphaTauri again in his case. But I mean, a little wheel banging, but you know, that was actually quite good around the chicane there. A pretty nice move. And he tried the outside the previous lap, and he said, nope, that didn't work. Definitely ain't doing that again. And he tried the inside, and he was able to get it. So he's up to P8. Looks like we have Dre Diggy. I got to shout him out. He's having a really nice race. Started, I think, outside the top 10. He's up to P7. No penalties, and we're not over yet. We still get, if someone unfortunately hits the wall or anything, a safety car could probably still come out. So if you're the leader, you kind of want to see if you can make it a few more laps, just so the safety car, you can kind of make sure that doesn't come out. Obviously, you have no control over it, but you don't want one. But Packer is clearly 15 seconds ahead. He's got the pace. I'm going to check the penalties here. Yeah, he's only got the 3 out in front. Top 5 all have penalties. And then P2, P3, and second and third are pretty close to each other. Chargers right on the back of Silent.
And QVR Packer just got another 3-second penalty to his name, but that's not really going to matter when you're 16 seconds clear and the guy behind has penalties to his name as well. But this battle between Chargers and RR Silent, this is not over yet. Chargers doesn't have too much ERS to play with, and he is using it almost every single lap. but the gap is coming down to about 3/10 when they're coming into Rascass and Anthony Nogue right at the end of the track here, and then it sort of extends once again in other parts of the track, especially around the hairpin. So I really feel like Chargers might still have a chance at getting second place here tonight. With RR Silent, though, not showing any signs of letting off, and he's not having any tire problems. We do have to pay attention, though, to the tires now with 6 laps to go. These guys are going to have to complete 31 laps on these mediums, and this would be the time when things could possibly go wrong with tires.
Yeah, these guys are definitely struggling on these mediums, getting to that point. But interesting, Chargers has less penalties than Silent, so technically, I think he is given that information now as well on his MFD. So he should know that Silent has 8 seconds, and he probably doesn't even need to pass him. I think Silent got 5 seconds for the tap under the safety car Chargers as well, so if they both submit, regardless, Silent's got 3 more seconds than Chargers as long as Chargers stays clean. And if you could probably just play it smart. I mean, at the end of the day, points are given out, and just a few more laps here, and you know, you don't want to do anything silly, especially if you're sitting in a pretty good position. Maybe play it a little more conservative, because these extra points will definitely help in the championship towards the end of the season. So you just want to kind of check in, claim your points, and get out. I think a few drivers might be happy. They're able to come to Monaco, have a decent day, grab some points, and leave without any DNFs or things like that. But so you might just stick behind them.
No, I totally agree with that. I mean, my personal goal when I go into Monaco is I don't really care where I finish as long as I don't make additional stops to change my wing. That is pretty much like my main goal anytime. But last night, it was so brutal for me. You know, I crashed out in qualifying. I had some trouble on the first lap getting damage. I survived with the damage, getting back up to the front with, you know, the first stint and everything. And then as soon as I came out of the pits with the new wing, I was so used to driving with the damage on the wing that the first thing I did coming up through Casino is smash myself into the wall. So, you know what I mean? So at that point, I was like, no, I'm done with this. There's nothing else that I really stand to gain here. I would have been pretty much plumb last. But right now for Chargers, you know, yeah, third place would be absolutely great. But with the pace that he's putting on and how close he's getting to RR Silent on some of the corners, he may still have a chance here. And I think the main thing that he just needs to do is watch Silent for a mistake. As soon as he makes that mistake, make your move, don't hesitate, and just take that position. But RR Silent so far, though, even though he's struggling a little bit on the exits of corners, he's not really making any major mistakes in their massive lockup, though. But again, everybody's getting lockups right now. And a yellow flag in Sector 2. Looks like same TJ and Snipper Pig came together again. No, it was Dre and Snipper Pig. And Dre is now falling behind Snipper Pig on the front. Straight there, and that's Snipper Pig up into 7th place.
Yeah, and it was also Johnny Breezy in the chicane. Went for a little spinaroo. I think he might have clipped the inside barrier, but still has his wing intact. He's keep going.
Alright, nice little late overtake there from Snipper Pig to put himself back into 7th place, so he's still going to score some good points here today, but again, definitely not going to be happy with that finishing position, considering where he started and the sort of pace that he had here today. But very impressive debut drive in TCR Golden Class. He definitely proved that he can, you know, make it into this group, and he can shake things up. Got very good pace, and I think more impressive than his qualifying time in his first stint was actually his recovery of positions after making 3 stops in total in this race.
Yeah, TJ's got a problem. Sorry to interrupt. TJ hit the wall. He's got no wing, and he just lost those 2 positions. Looks like he's probably going to come into pits, but I think this one is kind of over for him. And as he hits the wall there, hopefully he can just get to the pits and finish this one. But very heartbreaking for him. It's P9 he was sitting. He usually doesn't get the opportunity for many points in the season, at least in the last 2 races, but he was sitting P9, was going to grab 2 points, And just like that, into the barrier, and sit outside with only a few laps left.
Johnny Breezy getting another 3-second penalty there from multiple warnings. TCR F1 Racer is trying to close up on Bats Plus. They've been at it for a big time here. QVR Packer has just pitted and came out on a soft tire, so he was clear enough for a whole pit stop there, and now he's probably going to get the fastest lap of the race for an extra point. That's just an incredible performance from QVR Packer. He won race 1 in Bahrain. He got P4 in France. He's now going to jump
what
back.
Happened? Why is... Oh, he pitted. Sorry. I was like, why'd the gap go down so low?
Yeah.
He pitted for soft tires. I don't know if you mentioned that. Sorry if you did.
Just did. Just did.
Oh, sorry. I zoned out. Then the coffee wasn't working.
There you go. I guess my Red Bull is working better.
Yeah, maybe I have to opt for that.
Oh my goodness! RR Silent just hit the wall! RR Silent just hit the wall on the exit of the Neville chicane there on turn 10. He dropped the position to Chargers, and that's what I was talking about. Chargers just needed to hang around, wait for that mistake. There goes Chargers up into P2 with 2 laps to go in this Grand Prix. RR Silent has a tiny little bit of damage on the front wing, but more importantly now he just has to hold this position for a couple more laps and not let Perry catch up to him.
Yeah, that was a pretty costly mistake, but luckily for him, he didn't lose much time. We'll see how the penalties are behind him. I think he was going to lose that position regardless to Chargers. Now, hopefully he can maintain P3. I'm actually kind of nervous for Packer. I mean, he's been doing really well. He pitted for softs, but now that he's got so much grip and momentum with those softs, I just hope he can not get too eager for maybe a fastest lap, and you know, hopefully everything goes well in this next lap and a half. That would be the ultimate jinx of a commentator's curse, but I didn't really want to mention it, but I mean, I have to. That's my job.
All right, well, we've still got another battle going on here as well with F1 Racer and Bats Plus. They are keeping it very close with about a lap and a half to go here. QVR Packer, though, still in front, 11.7 seconds clear with a fastest lap of a 1:10.1. Some people have that as their qualifying time in Silver Class, so he's doing an incredible job in this race, obviously on a brand new set of tires. F1 Racer, they're thinking about making a move down the inside of Tabak, but then backed out of it for obvious reasons, I would say. Tabak is not a very good overtaking place, but he's still very, very close right now. He's going to have the DRS again, and I think this is going to be another one of those cases like Chargers and RR Silent. F1 Racer just got to hope that Bats Plus maybe hits a wall, maybe gets a puncture, maybe just makes a mistake somewhere. Oh, and as I say that, Bats Plus runs into the wall and saved the VOD, and there goes F1 Racer into P5. Oh my goodness.
Nice. So one of us had the commentator's curse, and that was you. Hopefully, we'll see. We got another half a lap coming to the Rascast here for Packer. Looks like he's going to close this one out. Lynn, you could take him to the line.
QVR Packer coming across the line in Monaco for round 3. Another win for him, and it's a second one out of 3 races in season 11 in the golden class. Coming into this league out of nowhere, this guy is making some huge waves. Watch out for this guy for the rest of the season. Chargers is going to get P2 after that mistake from RR Silent, and that's going to be a great heap of points for him and for Red Bull. RR Silent is going to be the 3rd step on the podium after a little bit of a mistake there. He's getting a 5-second penalty for unserved penalty, but I think he's going to hold on to that position. Perry the Dog is going to come across the line here in 4th. F1 Racer is going to get P5. And we're going to have Bats Plus coming across the line in P6 in just a moment with Snipper Pig, the guy that really had a lot of promise coming into this one, especially after qualifying is only going to get P7 here tonight after what was a very unfortunate race, but a still very, very impressive race. It looks like Dre Diggy is actually going to steal a position away from Snipper Pig for P7, but some of those penalties might get reviewed. Eggs Breezy, in his return to Golden Class, gets P9, couple of points to his name, and X Ryan for the last point scoring position here tonight, and also the last finisher on track on the front lap.
Nice.
Ryan also gets driver of the day.
Yeah, driver of the day. I would also, that was very nice. I think he started more towards the back, but picking up all those positions, able to get a few points. But F1 Racer also really nice, solid P5 in the end, penalty free as well. A silver champion from season 8 or 9 rather, and he's moved up this year, so a really solid P5 from him, and a very dominant win from Packer. We'll see. We go to these these different. Next week we're at Hungary, so we go from Monaco with the walls to Monaco without the walls next week. So hopefully everyone can keep their wings intact, but see how we'll see how these other guys can pair up with Packer. It looks like he was very dominant today, and definitely the favorite for the championship. We'll see if Chargers, Silent, or Perry, or another driver can bring the challenge to him.
And there we go, QVR Packer with a win, Chargers with second, RR Silent in third place, Perry the Dog in fourth, F1 Racer in fifth, Bats in sixth, Dre Diggy in seventh, Snipper Pig in eighth, and Ryan in ninth, with X Breezy in 10th place, same TJ in 11th, Jones in 12th, and Johnny Breezy in 13th, and then we had DNFs of Golderator, Prudent, McLaren, and Driz Mick. Wow, well, another Monaco Grand Prix done in TCR, and again, it did not disappoint. We had some great battles, we had some good late overtakes in the Grand Prix, a couple of safety cars in the VSC as well that sort of didn't really shake things up, but they definitely worked out in a lot of people's favor. I think QVR Packer was really the huge winner out of that second restart when he made that overtake on Snipper Pig. But again, another brand new driver coming into the league and shaking things up right off the start, and they couldn't have picked a better track to do that at than Monaco. Obviously, I'm gonna expect to see Snipper Pig back here again, possibly next week, and for the rest of the season, I'd love to see what he can do.
Absolutely, I think he could be a real contender. Let's see if I get these guys in the podium interviews.
Alrighty, so we are going to be waiting for QVR Packer, and geez, who else did we have on the podium there?
I know, I was just thinking myself.
it was Chargers and Silent.
Chargers
yes.
And Packer. Yep.
Yes, there we go. Alright, so we're going to get all of them in here for the interviews while we're waiting, guys. Huge thank you to everybody who's been watching the stream so far. If you guys left us a like already, thank you guys so much again. We keep on asking for these likes and comments, but they're really helping us get this league to more viewers and spread the word and get more people watching it every week and talking in the chat. That's pretty much my favorite part of it, watching everybody interacting in the chat and talking about the race. Super awesome. So huge thank you to everybody who's watching the stream. Leave us a like, leave more comments, subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with all of this action happening on track here tonight. I did see a couple of names show up in the party. Do we have RR Silent with us yet?
Yes.
All right. Well, RR Silent, welcome to the Podium post-race interviews. Very nice race from you today. Absolutely, keeping it nice and clean for most of the race there. Of course, making a tiny little bit of a mistake on the exit of turn 10, clipping the inside wall, which gave Chargers P2. But still, you got P3 here today. Good 15 points to your name and to your team. Tell us about your race from your perspective.
Honestly, coming in with probably just a locked-in setup from last night, and I didn't really do much practice. I came in with probably like a half an hour of race time, so could have been better, but obviously with a half an hour of practice, it's more like damage limitation, especially at a circuit like Monaco. So, it was going a little bit, should have been a better quali position, but I managed to get a half decent start. But besides that, the I was noticing just a lot of inconsistency with the setup. So yeah, just unfortunate, but like I said, damage limitation.
And tell me your impressions so far with the Golden class and TCR in general. I mean, how are you liking it? Has it been challenging enough, or where do you think you might end up in this season?
Certainly, of course, challenging. I just have to find my feet and probably put in some more hours. But yeah, besides that, I'm not always on F1 because I have other commitments and I have to do other things because I'm an adult, so I can't just concentrate and dive my hours into the game like I used to. So yeah, yeah, right, I'm finding it pretty decent actually.
Seafreeze, your questions.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about your hopes for the championship, or at least a really good standing in that. I mean, we kind of missed you in the points the last two races. You picked up a podium here. How are you feeling about next week at Hungary?
I enjoy Hungary. As far as like the point standings and the results go, that's a bit of a lost cause, honestly. Um, Missed result at Bahrain and at France. So, I mean, just for multiple factors, but um, besides that, I felt like I had good pace, especially at Bahrain. Definitely had good pace. France was a little bit different. I didn't really have a locked-in setup like I did for Bahrain, so I knew I had a good car under me in Bahrain, and that was completely my fault at Bahrain that I let go of that result. So Bahrain does hurt, France not so much. But yeah, there's not really a fight for the title, honestly. So it's just smooth sailing, at least try to get consistent points till the end and see where we end up, because otherwise it's really not. There's no point in. I don't think there's really a possibility to fight for anything more with two absence races or DNFs.
All right, well, congrats again on the P3 here tonight. Your first podium in TCR and then Golden class, and hopefully you'll get some more this season. Good luck for season 11.
Thank you.
Okay, then moving on from P3 over to our P2 finisher, Chargers 1000. In that Red Bull, very close battle between yourself and Silent there for quite a long time in the race, especially towards the last stint there. You were very close behind. You were closing in. Without that mistake that Silent made, do you think you might still be able to get P2?
I think I would have got it anyways because he had a 3-second time penalty that I didn't have, so I knew I didn't have to actually pass him there. Yeah, I'm not sure if his setup just wasn't as good on the tires, because he was faster than me at the beginning of the stint, but I don't know if that already picked up damage or something. But I was kind of closing in on him. I thought he was going to pull away and pull a few second gap, so I was kind of surprised when I closed him back up. Yeah, I'm pretty thankful for ghosting, because that would have been a really big crash if there wasn't. Yeah, I mean, P2 is probably all I could have gotten in this race, so pretty happy with it.
And I gotta say, man, right now you're putting on a really great performance in terms of the season so far. I know we're only in round 3, but with the points that you're gonna earn today and with the way that the standings in this particular race are, you guys are all gonna be very, very close for the race for P1 at the top there. You're only gonna be a couple of points away from each other between yourself, QVR Packer, and Perry the Dog. Again, same question. Season 11 so far is proving kind of interesting with new drivers coming in and shaking things up a little bit. How are you feeling so far about the season, and how are you feeling about the rest of season 11?
Yeah, it's a long season. But I mean, I feel like Packer's probably gonna end up running away with the championship. So I think the battle's gonna kind of be for second. So I think it'll be between me, Perry, and then maybe a couple others. But should be a good battle though.
And Seafreeze, any questions for our P2 finisher?
Yeah, for sure. More so on the season, very nice performance in the P2. Moving up, I think qualified P3 if I'm not mistaken. So pretty nice race. Really good start to the season. 3 podiums in that. And I just wanted to say, consistency is key. And you kind of remind me a lot like Go-To Guy, season 6 Platinum Class winner. as he is very consistent, very quiet throughout the season, picks a few wins up, and you never know where he could be coming towards the end of the season. So I just want to say that you're still in very nice contention, and if a few races go your way, which it definitely can be given where you are on track, it could do pretty well for yourself. So not really a question, just a nice little comment there, but really nice on the P2, and yeah, good luck on next week.
Thank you.
All right, well, that was very well summarized there by Seafreeze. Let's move over to, again, for the second time in 3 races, we are talking to QVR Packer in the Haas, doing an incredible job here again. I know you had Snipper Pig there, looking like he might give you a little bit of a challenge here today for that win, but then, you know, that overtake on the safety car restart really sort of settled that. And I guess that's my first question. Tell us about that restart. You know, how did you manage to get around him?
Well, on the restart, I got my tires pretty nicely warmed up, as he's going to be on the hards, I'm going to be on the mediums. So I was going to be my advantage either way. It's obviously difficult to overtake, but I think if I could take advantage of that the tire compound difference really early on, I think I could get in front of him and pass him, or just run away. But there's a little bit of an incident. I watched it back under the second safety car, and from my point of view, it looked like he turned in a little bit too early. But I guess that's just my opinion on it. So it was. I probably shouldn't have gone for the move, but I needed to if I wanted to try and win that race and pull away, because his tires would have been better towards the end of the race.
And this is your second win in 3 races. Even in France, when you got 4th place, you weren't on the podium, but you still got fastest lap in that one as well. So you seem to be really chipping away at any kind of points that are available on the track. But I want to ask, you know, as a new driver coming into this league and coming into this class and doing so well in the opening stages of the season, do you feel some extra pressure on your back now from like the existing drivers or maybe some other new drivers in the league? Does it put some extra pressure, or does it make you feel a little bit easier thinking, oh, well, I've got the pace, I've got some wins under my belt, so this should be an easy one?
Well, there's always going to be pressure. I put pressure on myself just to do what I think is going to be my best, but in qualifying, I let off a little bit. I got blocked on my first run, and then my second run was pretty good. And then my third run, I kind of got blocked again, but not really. And then I just hit the wall at Tabac, which is after Newvale, and kind of ruined my lap, got wing damage. And then the Renault ended up beating me to pole position, which I was kind of mad at myself for, because I knew I had so much more time in that lap. But there's always going to be pressure just from other drivers, just in general, especially around Monaco. The walls are always super, super close. I had a few brushes with them, but I was really lucky not to get away with wing damage most of those times.
Okay, and Seafreeze, any questions for QVR Packer?
Absolutely. Well, I just want to say congrats on the second win of the season and your pretty dominant Monaco Grand Prix win in the Golden Class. Very nice move on Snipper Pig at the time of the safety car restart. I think you had to go for the move because you're going for the win, and I think it was a wonderful move, probably the best one of the night of this race. So I just wanted to say that, and I wanted to ask for that second safety car restart when you were actually leading the field to green. How soon did you know you were going to wait till the checkered, start-finish line to actually go? That's very much like a Valtteri Bottas in that he did last season, right to the line, and then he went for it. Did you know you were going to do that, or when did that pop in your mind?
Well, I started warming up my tires a little bit too early, so when I came around the final corner, they were a little bit cold, so I tried weaving to get a temperature back into them, and then silent or hit the back of me or something. I don't know what happened, but he got a 5-second penalty, and I was just like, I just was weaving as much as possible to get tire temperature, and then I thought they were warmed up enough that I could get a pretty decent restart, and just kind of went. So, it was nice. I mean, there wasn't really any threat because on the first safety car restart, the leader went before or when at Rascast, so and I couldn't get up to him before the first corner, so I knew there wasn't really any threat, but it's just about being comfortable with my tire temperatures and then trying to keep the tire temperature so I could push away really early.
Awesome. Well, you did that pretty nicely.
Yeah, really well timed on that second restart as well. Definitely caught a lot of people napping on that. So congratulations again on a great win, QVR Packer. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And also congratulations again to the other two podium finishers of Chargers and RR Silent. Absolutely incredible race from all of our drivers in Golden Class here tonight as well. Went a little bit harder for some people. Definitely had a few DNFs here tonight. I think we finished with either 12 or 13 drivers out of the 17 that we started with. But that is Monaco, and today it definitely claimed some victims. Seafreeze, let's hear from you to sort of summarize the race, your impressions with it, what you're expecting for the rest of the season, and just everything else.
Yeah, I think it was kind of what we expect from the Monaco Grand Prix. A very nice qualifying, very close at the top. All the drivers needing to get that final lap in which, you know, we saw the debut guy, Snipper Pig, do. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to follow all the way through, but a very strong performance in that. I think the championship looks like a 3-race horse at the moment, between Packer, Chargers, and the other one of Perry. But with really, depending of circumstances, yeah, maybe one or two other guys can maybe throw themselves in if they have a strong performance. But it was a really nice race, really nice move with Packer. A few little incidents here and there, but that's what you kind of expect. Not much strategy game, unfortunately, with the safety car. Kind of forced everyone to pit, but in the end, it was a good race for a Monaco race, and I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow. With the Platinum Division lining up with the full qualifying. We got a lot of nice guys there, and we'll see if any of these Golden guys will reserve tomorrow and see if they could do it on the big spotlight. But very nice race, and I think it'll carry throughout the whole season.
Absolutely, I completely agree with that, and I cannot wait to commentate on that race tomorrow as well. So for everybody who's watching, make sure to join us here tomorrow for the Platinum Monaco GP with the full qualifying format. We're going to be here again at the same time at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that race. If you guys don't want to miss it, subscribe to the channel, and that way you'll stay up to date on it. But I think this is where we're going to round things off. So again, huge thank you to everybody who's been watching and who keeps on watching our streams. You guys are awesome, and thank you so much for the support that you give us. Check out all the links in the description for our affiliate sponsor Fanatec, as well as our own TCR shop with our stickers, where you can get a couple of different variations and help out the league and support us in that way as well. But other than that, huge thank you to also all of the drivers, all the stewards, and all of the officials at TCR, everybody who makes this league work every single week. Thank you guys so much. And from myself, from Blind Machine, and from Seafreeze, thank you guys so much for watching. Join us tomorrow for the Platinum class. That should be an exciting Monaco Grand Prix there. So have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.